Hello everybody, my name's Steve, I'm the British Railroader and welcome to my model railroad room. Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to hope that you enjoyed the couple of clips that I posted right at the beginning. Just as some footage I took when I was out and about in London earlier this week with my good friend Andy from America. Andy's the person that I'm going to be staying with next year. And it was a great opportunity for us to get together while he's over in England. And also I get to meet his wife. He got to meet Mrs. British Railroader. So, you know, it just shows you that we're all one big happy family. Also, before we get into this next instalment of Project 2790, I just wanted to bring to your attention that next weekend, on Saturday the 21st of September, we have the Mid-Essex Model Railway exhibition in Shenfield, not far from here. I'm going to be here. I will put all of these details onto the description of this video. So if you're there and you see me, come and say hello. I'll be there probably most of the morning. Okay, so in this episode of Project 2790, I'm going to be fitting various details to the pilot of the locomotive. Not all of them. I'm not going to be doing the ditch lights today because I just need to still figure out how I'm going to do them. But we're going to be fitting the coupler cut bar, the MU hoses, the brake hose and the plow, which I think is more than enough. There is the other MU hose that I've spoken about, but I need to fit that after I've done the ditch lights. So we'll go down onto the workbench in a moment, but before we do, just a little note about what I'm going to power this locomotive with. Now, when I began the project, I was going to fit a Soundtrack's Balloon Army decoder, and that was my intention all the way through. However, economics has got in the way a little bit, and a Balloon Army decoder over here costs around about £135, whereas a bog standard Soundtrack Tsunami is about £90. So I've decided that because I don't want, you know, the cost to run away on this particular project, I decided to go for the slightly cheaper decoder. It's not a problem. It's not a retrograde step because obviously, you know, I have a whole DCC system with which to operate my locomotives. But I just decided that just for this project, I would just use an ordinary Tsunami 2 as opposed to a Balloon Army. Guys at Soundtracks, if you're watching this, I love your Balloon Army decoders, and, you know, I will probably be using more and more of them, but just not on this occasion. And just as a note, I'm not actually going to show you how I fit the decoder, the basic decoder fitting, because I've done that recently. It's exactly the same as fitting the Balloon Army. I think I've also done the fitting of a Soundtrack Tsunami PMP8 before. What I will do though is when I do fit the ditch lights and get to the point where I'm going to put everything together, I will just go through how I would wire up the ditch lights to the decoder, because I know that people are quite keen to understand about that, and it wasn't fully covered in the ditch light video that I did, it must be about 18 months, almost 2 years ago now. But anyway, let's get down onto the workbench and we'll go through what I'm doing. Okay, as you can see here, we've got all the bits ready to add the details to the front pilot. Now, just so that you can see, just focus on this, I've already added them to the rear pilot. I'm not sure if I'm happy with the way that the multiple unit cables kind of bend right over like this, but unfortunately that's just the way it is with this particular plow. And it is basically the correct plow for this model. You can see that they're in there. The coupler cut bar I've just glued onto the little knobs that are already there. I don't need it to move, and that actually works quite well because I've got the coupler box is going to need to go in here when I reassemble it. So let's just turn this around. So at the front here, we'll just focus that again. Don't know if you can see them, but we've got here these little knobs which are where the pipes have got to go. So there's 3 on each side for the multiple unit pipes, 1 just here for the air pipe. And I'm going to be using this tool just to ream out little holes as starter points, just like I did for the grab irons and the lift rings. So I'm just going to very quickly do that. We'll just zoom out a little bit because so it's just a matter of finding it and just making the mark on top of it. So hopefully now if I refocus this and just, oh no, what happened there? There, you can see, oops, just here the 3 starter points. So we'll do those first. And what I'm going to use is, this is a 0.4 millimeter drill. And just like with the other ones, we just very gently, because I don't want to break any more drill bits, just drill out these holes. This goes through very quickly on these pilots. They must be quite thin. He says, it's quite difficult to see this because even though I'm wearing my stronger glasses, question somebody asked me is what do I use to help see? I just have a slightly stronger pair of reading glasses that I use for this smaller work. There we go. So those 3 holes are now drilled, and if I get my pair of tweezers, just put that down there for the moment, pick up one of these like so, and it's just a matter of finding the hole. You kind of have to wiggle it a little bit. It's quite a tight fit using the 0.4 mil drill bit. Okay, that one dropped off. I think sometimes what you kind of have to do is just not re-drill, but just go back with the drill and just, if you can find it, pass it through the hole again. It just sometimes opens it out a little bit and makes it easier to get the part in. There we go. Then we'll give that another go. So we'll just grab one of these. And when I did this, at the other end, they all went in straight away first time. But you kind of have to feed them in. Now you could always make bigger holes. One thing I sometimes do is turn it around, and if it's coming through the back, grab it and pull it. There we go. So there's the first one in. So I'm going to do the other 3, or the other 2 on this side and the other 3 here. And then just here I will put in the brake pipe, and then we'll kind of return to this and I'll show you what I do next. Okay, so the next stage, as you can see now, all the pipes are on. They're not all exactly in the place that I want them to be. Just sort of from an orientation point of view, you do have to kind of get them lined up a little bit. But what I need to do now is just fix these in place. And then what I'm going to be using is a super glue gel. This is quite a fast acting one, which is actually works quite well in this case. So I'm going to use just a toothpick, and we're going to, from the inside, just apply some of this. You do get a little bit of time to kind of get everything wiggled around if you need to. As you can see, we've got one that's gone right round there, and the brake pipe just needs to. The brake pipe itself, I am just going to apply a little bit of super glue gel onto this side and then poke that back into the hole. So get everything kind of lined up, and that'll all set in a moment or two. It's already at that kind of tacky stage. I'm just going to take a micro brush, get some more super glue gel on there so there's a bit more, and just attack the back a little bit, because some of these pipes I'm probably going to trim down a little bit just to make sure the chassis gets in okay. But there we go. That is the pipe work on. It's pretty much stuck now. Let's put the lid on the super glue gel for a moment. So we're going to take the snow plow and fit this on. Now this snow plow has got little lugs on it, and there are holes on the pilot. And basically we're going to get all of these cables except the brake pipe to go through the holes, hopefully. This is fiddly. What I need is a pair of tweezers. Here we go. So that we can kind of feed all of these through the holes. Get that one in. Are we done? No, oh, I've got one that's not going through. Now the good thing about these hoses is they are quite flexible. That one is the first one that I need to find. It's not. There we go. That's it. So they're all in. And then just line up. Can't find the holes, can't see them from here. There we go. 1, 2. So that's nicely lined up. And there we go. So they're in like that. And then lastly we've got the coupler cut bar, so we'll just prepare that and I'll show you how I fit it. Okay, before I fit the coupler cut bar, just a quick word. So if you look here, I've got 2 coupler cut bars. Now as supplied, they're like the bottom one, but I've modified them ever so slightly to match the prototype. So if you look at this one, and there we go, over the white of the roof, you can see at the bottom here there's a little dog leg, so that would sit against the body of the loco. However, in real life, and again let's put that over, the coupler cut bars don't have that on this particular loco, so I've snipped those off. I did the same with the rear. Okay, so gluing this is quite simple, but you just need a steady hand. I've got a pair of tweezers ready to place the loco. So again, I'm going to open my bottle of super glue gel. I'm just going to take a fresh toothpick and just get a little bit of glue on there and dab a little just above each of the little tabs, and then I'm going to take the coupler cut bar, line it up, and just get it on there. Oops. Okay, didn't mean for that to happen. Best laid plans, as they say, but start again. I'll grab the coupler cut bar. Hopefully the glue is still wet enough. Get it in the right place. Some of this you just have to do by eye, and it's fiddly as heck. There we go. There. What I'm going to do is get my toothpick, get the clean end of it, grab a little bit more of that gel and just place some at each mounting point, just so this thing holds fast. There we go. So that's the coupler cut bar in place. Phew, managed to do that without destroying the loco. Okay, I hope that all made sense to you. I hope it wasn't too much out of focus. It is very difficult to try and do these things and keep everything in focus. You know, the camera and the tripod are actually right in front of me, right in my way, while I'm trying to do all of these bits and pieces. But at least I hope it shows you how I've achieved this. Now, with the benefit of hindsight, with regard to the multiple unit cables and the angle that they're at, would I have done it slightly differently? Possibly. What I might do is actually tuck them behind the plough. They don't always poke through those slots. I'll have a look at some of the photos online and see what they look like. Okay, but that's it for this video. I hope that I will see some of you next week at the Mid-Essex Model Railway exhibition in Shenfield. But if not, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so before, please consider subscribing to the channel. And when you do, the bell will come up. Click it and press all, and you will be notified of all of my videos as they come out. But this is me, Steve, the British Railroader, saying goodbye for now from my model railroad room. Bye-bye.